Hi guys, it's Theresa of Larkin Design, and I'm here today with my traveler's notebook, and I've decided to call this insert that I'm doing here my gardener's notebook. And so I'm just showing you here, this is Webster's Page's Color Crush traveler's notebook in teal, I believe they call it. And this is the insert that came with the notebook itself, and it's just a plain traveler's notebook and with a craft color cover, and I'm going to document some things that we've been doing in our yard in this one. And so I decided to use my Gossamer Blue May 2016 kit. And I have some photos. I'm going to start with what I did last year in our yard. And so I have some photos that I took, and I also have these plant tags that come with your plants when you buy them from Lowe's or wherever, your nursery. And so these are my photos that I took last year. And I took these in the Collect app and used the Collect format for printing these on 4x6. And then as I add them to the album, I'll be trimming them to the correct sizes with the border. And so I'm just going through, these are some of just the start of our yard. And so I've also chosen some washi tapes here that I plan to use. And then these are the products that were in the Gossamer Blue kits. Now, my subscriptions are for the main scrapbooking kit and the Life Pages kit. So the main kit comes with the smaller stamp set that says today, and then a couple of other small words included, in the larger stamp set is with the Life Pages kit. There were also some alphabets, these pink paisley embellishments from the Fancy Free collection, and simple stories. This is Life in Color. And then these are some of the exclusive embellishments that come in the kits. I so love these. I can't wait to put these in the book. These are actually the perfect dimension, or the perfect depth. They're not too thick to use in your traveler's notebooks if you're concerned about it getting too thick. So those I plan to use. And then these are just the journaling cards that are in the Life Pages kit. So if you're familiar with Gossamer Blue, and these are the ephemera from My Mind's Eye, Hello Gorgeous. So I chose these because I really like the colors that are in these collections. And there's a lot of floral embellishments here. So I'm just sort of going through a few of these to see what I have and what I think I'm going to use. And I'm so excited. I'm really excited to start this project. If you didn't get a chance, check out my video that I published on Friday, introducing my Traveler's Notebook project to you. This is my first one that I'm doing, and I know that this has been out and popular for a while, but it's taken me a while to sort of catch on, and now I'm sort of like, why did it take me that long to start trying this out? And so I thought I would share with you what I'm doing and see if if other people were interested. It's really a cool way to use some supplies, tell some stories, but not feel like you're having to do a full 12 by 12. I've sort of gotten away from doing full 12 by 12 scrapbooking layouts, just personally. Other than my Project Life and my pocket pages, and those still aren't full 12 by 12s. And that's okay, right? So these are a great way to get some stories told and get some photos scrapped. Now, these are the Life Pages cards that come in that kit. And if you're familiar with Gossamer Blue, then you know that the front side is vertical and the back side is horizontal. And sometimes they do, like on this card right here, they do a different color on the back. So definitely some fun cards in that collection. Those are the 3x4s. And then these are the 4x6s. So I haven't done a unboxing video in a while, I guess. So this is fun. And I'm just in this process of sort of going through supplies. I'm just sort of getting a feel for what I like and what I know I have, so that it's fresh in my mind. And then when I'm staring at the blank page, I already have some things in my mind that I want to use. So it's not so hard to stare at that blank page. Now, these were the papers. There's another sheet of alphabets and the Simple Stories alphabet. And then that was my chipboard sheet. I always save my chipboard sheet to use for my art journaling. So the papers in the scrapbooking kit were from My Mind's Eye, Hello Gorgeous, and then Simple Stories, Life in Color. That stripe and that smaller floral are two of my favorites. And that floral is a glitter, or one of the florals is a glitter paper. So that's always fun. Okay, and so now I'm just going to pick a couple of these papers that I know that I want to use. Definitely the floral and that diagonal stripe, that diagonal pink. And that wood grain is one of my favorites. And that one with the horizontal stripe on the back as well. And now I'm just going to clear my space and get ready to dive in. I also had those washi tapes. Those were not in the kit, but I couldn't not use those. Okay, so here we go. I'm thinking about my cover here. And the cover does have a debossed hello on it, and I think I'm just grabbing some of my gelatos here, and I'm going to just add a little wash of color to this hello. There we go. There's my other colors, and those are the ones you'll see me use those throughout this project. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water and spread that around and mix it in a little bit and blend it. Remove a little of that moisture. I'm just going to do a little background wash here and then layer a few embellishments on top. I had to dry that. And then I know that I will probably be putting 2 years in this book, 2015 and 2016. So you'll see me, I'm going to do a tab. You'll see me do that in a minute. And then I decided that I was going to add these layered embellishments. And staple those in place. Or not. Maybe I'll reposition them first. There we go. Okay. And that's pretty much the cover. Okay, now I'm going to add my tab. And so there were some tab die cuts in the Hello Gorgeous ephemera pack. And to reinforce them, I'm going to grab some of my We Are Memory Keepers reinforced tabs. And I'm also going to stamp the year. So 2015 was really the first year that we did any planting in our front yard other than what we did for the first landscaping project. And I think it's kind of cool to sort of document, what we put in that year and what worked and what didn't work. I am not a gardener and I'm not a green thumb. So everything that I did was kind of brand new to me. So you'll see me here. Now these tabs from the tab reinforcers from We Are Memory Keepers, they don't match the paper die cut exactly. So I just taped it down and then cut around the paper die cut. And that's one way that you can use those tabs, even if they don't match your die cut exactly. There we go. And then I just stapled it just to reinforce it again. There we go. Okay. So that's my date. And then I'm going to choose the first photo. And, of course, I decided that it should be the house itself with the front yard. So, and if you've been following my Throwback Thursday series, then you're following along with the construction of our house. So, anyway, this continues that, right? And I'm just adding a little bit of color with the gelatos again on the pages itself. And these, I know people always ask, do these watercolors wrinkle your pages? And yes, they do just a little bit here. I think it depends on how much water you use, and I tend to be a very wet artist. You could also just blend those gelatos with your fingers if you didn't want to use water. But you'll see how I handle that here in just a moment. I'm going to finish embellishing, and so I added that one piece from Paisley Press, or not, I'm sorry, from Pink Paisley. I added that to layer the tabs, and also I stamped the little happy place sentiment, and I'm just going to create a grouping down in that lower corner, so you can see that I'm sort of creating a diagonal direction for your eye to go on this layout. So I added a note about, this is our home in Kernersville, North Carolina. You could, of course, add your address if you wanted to, or just whatever. And then a couple of these puffy stickers from Pink Paisley again. I'm also going to add the Today stamp. And that sort of overlaps onto the photo as well, and onto the tag. I think I'm going to just add some of that washi to the top and the bottom of the layout. And I am just folding it over onto the next side. And then that becomes home. Those become homes for a word strip and for another stamp. And so you'll see me stamp these word strips just kind of randomly around the page, just to add a little something and to tie in the colors from the gelatos. And so that's kind of a fun way to use your word strips. There we go. Okay, going to the next page. Now, you can see where the watercolor or the gelatos sort of buckled up that page a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that sheet with a pattern paper. So I'm just measuring out and then trimming down my piece. And notice that I leave the marketing strip on the edge, and I cut it a little bit too big, so I'm going to trim it down just a little bit again. So I left the marketing strip on the edge of that paper, and I'm going to work with that. I like that little pink diagonal stripe, and it also matches the pink washi tape that's in the washi pack. So I'm going to layer on top of that marketing strip. And right now I'm just trying to figure out, like, what do I want to start with? So I'm going to start with that banner, that Make Today Ridiculously Amazing banner. And then I'm going to layer some of these other washi strips on top of this pattern paper. And that's a fun way to use those little marketing strips, and a fun way to use your washis. So there you go. Okay, I'm going to pop this banner up with some of the pop dots. And then I'm not really sure at this point what else I'm gonna do on that side. So I go to the other side and I decide to use a photo of the flowers that were around our mailbox. Now we had planted some lilies around the mailbox and these pachoa, and which bloomed really nicely, but they are just annuals, so they won't come back. So my strategy here was to plant lilies that would come back next year, and then plant one annual that I could change out every year. And so you can see here I'm just taking this little tag that came from the flowers themselves, and I'm just adhering it into the book with the washi tape. So it becomes a little insert. And that way I know what these flowers are, because I'm not the greatest at remembering what these are. So there you go. Now here's my photograph, and then I'm going to Yeah, that's not the photograph I decided to use. There we go. Okay. And here we go. I'm going to do some more gelatos. And so you can sort of see my formula developing here. My formula is pattern paper on the left, gelatos and photograph on the right. And then that will be the formula I follow through the whole book. Plus embellishments, of course. And so I'm just sort of figuring out, I'm going to repeat that black and white that was on the left-hand side. I'm going to repeat that down here on the lower right-hand side and layer those washi's again, just to repeat that element. And then that becomes a home for the embellishment for this page. Alright, I committed to putting my photograph down and then that ampersand, which I love. And then I'm looking for something. There we go. My acrylic block. Okay, and I'm just trying to decide what stamps I want to use on this page. And I'm going to do kind of the same thing I did on the last one, where I just repeat these stamps across the page. And so you'll see me stamping the sentiments around the page. And then I'm going to add one more die cut embellishment and this page will be completed. And so I'm going to wrap up this video for today, and then on Thursday I'm going to continue working through this book. I'll publish another 2 layouts in this book for you on Thursday. So check back with me then. And in the meantime, be sure to like and comment and subscribe to my channel so that you get all the latest on my Traveler's Notebook project. Here we go. I'm just going to add this one last embellishment here. And it takes me a minute. It takes me a minute to figure out where I'm going to put it. And then I need to trim off the top of it. And I'm going to add a little bit of journaling here. So I'm just going to write here. I decide that I'm going to add the washi, more of the washi tape to use as the home for my journaling. Maybe. There we go. Just simple torn washi strips, and then that's the home for my journaling. Okay, and so this is the book so far. Alright, thanks you guys for watching. I'll see you back here on Thursday. Bye-bye.